So most people think you need thousands of dollars to start making money on eBay. Listen, I started with $0 and flipped my way to $5,000 profit in just 30 days. And I'm going to be breaking down in this video exactly how I took this eBay account that went from zero all the way to making me $5,000. Everything will be in this video. So by the time we are done, you will know exactly how you can do the same thing. Now, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Brandon Jones, and I specialize in helping you make an extra income stream. And I have a website, wesply.com. Now, this website gives you access to me and my products. So you get to learn and you get to source products wholesale without any reseller's permit. I give you guys access to these products. Now, I do have a product reselling master academy or university that I have that you guys can take advantage of. And all you need to do is go to this website so you guys can start and enroll. Now, you are not only going to get the course, but you're also going to get a box full of products that you can take advantage of so you can start making money right now. Again, guys, make sure you check out wesply.com and of course, enjoy the video. Okay, so why do people not succeed on eBay? Now, let's make this very clear. eBay, Amazon, Facebook, and all of these platforms, they work in different ways and work for different sellers and different places and different methods, strategies, a bunch of different things you can utilize. But I'm gonna be honest, it all comes down to fundamentals. I'm gonna break that all down in this video. But I see 3 mistakes that resellers do make on eBay. Number 1, guys, you're listing just hand-picked items that you feel are cool, right? So you'll have some people that go and they'll list hoodies and they'll list shirts and they'll go thrifting at TJ Maxx, Ross, and Walmart and just start selling those products. Well, that seems popular online. In real life, it's not going to bring you the profit that you want. And this is something people find out a little bit too late after they invest in that course or they invest in that ebook. See, a lot of people nowadays want to make income streams, but they don't actually want to get the assets that are easily obtainable, but something they can get on a consistent basis. So if you sell that hoodie and that hoodie is selling really well, and let's say it sells really fast, how are you going to source it again? See, this is where people find that they get stuck because they can't source the product on a consistent basis. Therefore, their profit does stall. Now, when it comes to clothing, I don't recommend selling it as it has a bunch of variants, which again, it will hinder you because maybe you have somebody looking for those socks, but they are a small instead of a medium. And now you lost that sale. Or maybe you're looking to sell some sneakers that you found on clearance. Great. Let's say they sell really fast. Now, how are you going to be able to capitalize off of that customer? You can't. So listing these hand-picked items don't always work out, especially if you're looking to scale your eBay. Now, another thing that I see is people do not post frequently enough. Now, if you're somebody out there that is posting and revising, and you're trying to grow your eBay and you have a job, let's say, it can be quite difficult. And that's why we have different services. You have automation services out there. You have a bunch of different things that you can utilize, but you could do it yourself. And I'm going to show you that in this video. Now, another thing that I realized that I actually ended up writing down, guys, was, I believe it was people, they cash out. And this is something I learned last month that a lot of people do that actually hurts them. You're cashing out instead of reinvesting that money. Now, you may be like, what do you mean? Well, you're taking that money, the profit that you're making from those products, and you're not putting it back into products, and you're wondering why you're not actually building your cash flow. Well, reselling in general, it's all about putting in, taking out, putting back in, right? So let me make this very clear, and I want to really front load this video with some content and some knowledge, right? If you sell a product for $14, or no, excuse me, if you sell a product for $60, but the product costs you $14, you have to make sure when you sell that product for that $60, you're taking and extracting that $14 that you spent on that product at the beginning, and you're putting it back into another product. It's really important. A lot of people, they'll buy products and then they'll take the profit and then they'll literally go ahead and spend all the money. If you're spending the money that you're investing, you're hurting yourself, because spending that money is also going to hinder the fact that you're not going to be able to supplement the inventory that you already lost. So what you want to do is you want to be able to buy back the product that you just sold every single time. And these are the 3 mistakes that I see a lot of people utilizing and making, that is holding them back and keeping them in the position to where they're like, oh, it's not working for me, but it's working for him, right? We got to focus on keeping the main thing, which is, of course, making the profit. And the way you do that is by making sure you're inspecting what you expect. Find products that you can actually source on a consistent basis. Make sure that you can list and revise these products also on a consistent basis. And if you can't, make sure you delegate a service or a person to do it for you. And lastly, make sure you're reinvesting into the products that you're selling so that you always maintain some inventory. Okay, so throughout this process, what I did the first week was something that I do with every eBay account. Now I want to set the scene. I was somebody, and I still am somebody that has multiple eBay accounts, but I usually will create new ones if I see that one is dying, which they do depending on the niche that you're selling. Now, I was selling Ring cameras at the time, but the Ring cameras slowed down with this certain eBay. So now we wanted to pick one back up and scale it so that it can start thriving, right? But while I say on that topic, I want to actually let you guys know we have an eBay automation service where we list, ship, and provide products for you. So if you're ever getting stuck on eBay and maybe you cannot make the time to actually get the products or get the time to be able to revise and list, we will actually get you an assistant that will work for you. Now, the way this works is it's called eBay automation. It's on wesply.com. Now, eBay automation is going to be a service that you will literally have with your assistant, and they will be working hand in hand with you to make sure that you're thriving. Now, you pay $300, and when you pay $300, it covers 2.5 months of you having your store automated. Now, what happens is your assistant lists product for you every single week. They ship the products that sell, and of course they revise the products. They answer to the customers if customers have any issues or problems. You do not have to do much on your store at all. The only thing you really have to do is let your assistant know when you get a sale, obviously, but that's it, right? And the best part about this is you keep 100% of the profit. And why is this beneficial? Because see, we want to make sure we're not taking money from you and not allowing you to make more money from it. Therefore, you're just paying for that assistant weekly. Now, they invoice you every end of the week for the products that you sold, and you are only paying the cost it took to get the product. So, give you a good example. If you sell some iPhone chargers, you're going to be invoiced 90 cents per charger, right? But this is good because you're already making profit, obviously, because it has already sold. Now, this is a service that is utilized to help you guys grow without having to do much of the work. Now, with that being said, guys, the link is below where you guys can get eBay automation. Now, let's get back into the video. Okay, so the first week, what we did was list small ticket products. Now, listing small ticket products is important because when you first get on eBay, the first thing you want to do is list something, but you don't want to list anything that is expensive. So you don't want to first list a phone, right? A $500 phone. If you do that, it's going to trigger eBay's Vero system. You don't want to list replicas because if you do that, it's going to trigger eBay's Vero system. You don't want to list products that are going to be really expensive because you're going to be put on the radar. I call it getting hot. You're going to be hot, right? So you want to make sure you're listing low ticket items. So what we did was we listed chargers, RGB cables, which are the light up chargers. We listed bubble blasters. We listed those type of products, and MagSafe chargers, the wired and the wired battery pack, or the wireless battery pack. And we were able to get some sales. Now, when it comes to getting these sales, I'm gonna put some screenshots to show you guys, but we were able to make around $400 and something. I can't remember the exact number right now, but we made a good amount, okay? And the only reason we made that money is because we listed small and we actually used the promotions. So a lot of the products that we are going to be selling, you're going to see they sold via promotions. And if you're not using the promotional tab, you're losing out. Now, this is something that people with eBay automation, of course, they take advantage of because our assistants know the tricks and tips to use when it comes to setting the percentages. Because see, eBay, they have general promotions. You use that tab and they take a certain percentage out of the listing that you list, right? But what we do is we always stay under 12%. We never utilize the recommended percent that they say. So if eBay is trying to say do 15% promotion, right? We don't do that. We usually only and always start at 2%, and we'll work our way up depending on how much that product sells. Why is this important? Well, it's important because we don't want to exhaust our resources, nor do we want to pay eBay to promote our product and take a huge chunk out of our sales. So we've been able to profit while also utilizing this eBay promotional method and be able to scale. And you guys can do it too. And most importantly, you want to start with low ticket items because it's going to help you get reviews and feedback. Now, positive feedback is important. The reason why I say positive feedback is important is because that, in my case and with other cases, we work with 800 plus eBay accounts. It shows that pushes the algorithm, or it makes sellers attract buyers, right? Because I can't really say that when you get a bunch of positive feedback, people just come flocking, or eBay just pushes your listing above others. I don't want to say that. That's disgenuine. I don't know that, but I do know that you start getting more sales. And when you start getting more sales, now that comes with more responsibility, but you're only selling low ticket products. So why can't you fulfill a 3-pack Type-C to Lightning charging bundle? Why can't you easily fulfill a wireless MagSafe battery pack order for $12.50, right? These are small little things that you can actually accomplish, right? I want to get the numbers right, okay, because that's important. So week 1, it was $486 we made. We sold 27 MagSafe chargers. Each MagSafe charger was $12.50, okay, which that made us $337. We also sold some chargers as well that made up the difference. And that was good because, again, it wasn't that expensive, especially with these MagSafe chargers. They're not expensive at all. They are, I believe, on wesply.com. You can get the MagSafe battery packs for $9, and you can also get the RGB cables for less than $5, okay? And that is really good because, again, you want to make sure you're making profit off of these products, especially the low ticket, because the low ticket is going to be products that customers don't expect a lot out of. If the customers aren't expecting them to fly or do anything crazy, then you're able to get those positive feedback remarks quicker, right? So, prime example, somebody gets a charger in the mail. They're more liable to give you positive feedback quicker than somebody that may have a pair of AirPods, because they may need to go to the gym and test them out, or maybe they may need to go on a vacation to make sure they work. There is a difference between the feedback time with a low ticket product and a high ticket product. So these are the little methods and the things that we did to try and make sure we're maximizing our profit with this new eBay account. Now, it's important for you guys to know I didn't have much cash flow starting out in week 1. But when I started to actually get some money, I started to have cash flow, right? So what I did was I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and start getting Labubu DAOs. Now, of course, you know I'm a wholesaler. You know that I'm somebody that has the ability to get products on a consistent basis. So it's not that difficult for me. But the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because if you're a regular seller and maybe you don't have a wholesale plug, go to wesply.com, but you're able to still sell by literally starting with low ticket products, and then you reinvest the money into something that is going to make you more money. In our case, it was the Labubu DAOs. The Labubu DAOs are really great sales. This is a McDonald's themed Labubu DAO, which sells for around $35. I wasn't even selling these. I was selling a regular Pop Mart Labubu DAOs, right? So what I did is I ended up going and saying, you know what, all right, I see that the regular products, so the small ticket products we're selling, the MagSafe battery pack, the chargers, great. Now, it's very important to know I was selling those in bundles, right? But now I'm like, okay, what can I sell that is going to boost my sales, but also going to get me people that are buying off of impulse? So it was the Labubu DAOs. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we sold the second week 47 Labubu DAOs for $15.50, which totaled to $728. That at the time was a good profit for us to be able to capitalize off of. Hold on, y'all, I had to stand up. Listen, now we get into the real money. What I had to realize too, and I'm really documenting this process for me, I think it was more so me trying to see how I can show you guys without trying to create a false expectation that there are a bunch of ways to scale without having to be a store or someone that has the big box products, right? Everything that we sold was a product you can get, right? So the Labubu DAOs were really good. Now, I have the McDonald's theme one right here, but we have a bunch of different type. And you can check that out at wesply.com, or you can go and try to source them yourself too. There are so many Labubu DAOs, it's not funny. they're being sold for hundreds of dollars, but you can sell it for a cheap or a low cost price point to get multiple orders or to bundle them. And that's sort of kind of where we won. And as you guys can see, we made a good amount of money in week 2. Now, this didn't happen just because of the Labubu DAOs. I want to remind you, we started with low ticket products. So that positive feedback was a crucial part of customers choosing us over other distributors, because what happened was the customers could see a bunch of people selling the Labubu DAOs. The difference is when they see a bunch of people selling them but not having positive feedback, we look more valid as a brand because we already have people that are saying we're good, right? Hey, this was a great seller, shipped on time, and that is why we were able to win in week 2. Okay, so in week 3, sales climbed to 2,400. Now, this was not by mistake either, because we took advantage of the Labubu DAOs getting great feedback. And of course, being able to push these were a really big boost, I guess, in the algorithm, because not only are we showing transactions and showing that we're actually doing orders, which eBay cares about, right? They care about their customer more than they care about the seller. So we're showing that we're helping the customer as we are providing the need. Now we're actually able to start listing some clones, you know what I mean? So listing those clones were really something that skyrocketed us, even though we didn't sell a lot. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, let me look, I believe we sold, we only sold 14 MagSafe headphones. That's not a lot, okay? It's not a lot. 14, and then put this in perspective, you can get 12 of them for $27 each at wesply.com, right? And it took us a week to sell 12 of them. And usually, I'm gonna be honest, the months leading up to this, I've seen on eBay with eBay automation a bunch of people selling them 4 a day, some people 2 a day. It all depends. But this account, it took a little bit to sell 14. It took 7 days, right? So with that being said, we were able to make more money. Now, I'm sorry, I keep coming over here to look at the laptop, guys. We were able to go ahead and source $1,260. Now, that is literally off of the headphones. Now, the headphones are great. They're really good sellers. We're not talking about the other small ticket items and the Labubu DAO still selling, because they are still selling, which is adding to our total for the week. But again, we are able to now keep adding small or high ticket items, but small little adjustments per week. This is something that we are able to do to create that snowball effect to gaining more profit. Now, when we did that, we were able to not only source, sorry I'm everywhere, not only source those headphones from wesply.com, but we were able to literally bundle them. So we did a MagSafe bundle, because again, they were a little slower than usual. Like usually I could sell anywhere between 14 to 20 of them, and that's literally in a few days, like 5 days, you know what I mean, take the weekend off. But this was 7 days. We had to bundle them, we pushed them, and they were selling really good towards the end. But again, we were able to push that. So now we're moving up. All right, now us moving up from selling 12 of those, we were able to actually make the 1260, but we did have a hiccup. We ended up getting, I believe it was 2 returned because of a damaged package. Now, that was a issue, because what happened was it was a damaged package and the customer gave us bad feedback. When the customer gave us bad feedback, I'm trying to remember, we used one of the email scripts. So if you don't know about the email script pack that you can get at wesply.com, we have a bunch of guides there that help you with your eBay business, but it's a script pack where we copy and paste a certain email and send it to eBay support. And what happens is that it helps them combat this, right? So we like to try and combat negative, fake, or negative, irrational reviews, as it hurts our store, right? So we utilize that. We got the negative feedback off, and we actually got the customer happy because we were able to send 2 more. So sometimes customers are used to bad sellers and they end up rating you negatively prematurely, right? So it's nothing against that customer, but again, we did have that hiccup, which halted us a lot. because I think we could have probably sold more MagSafe wireless headphones or AirPod Max headphones. I keep saying MagSafe headphones, AirPod Max headphones, but I think that was something that kind of slowed us down on our sales. But again, we still came out profitable, and that's what really matters. Now, week number 4. So this was when we were getting nervous. Now, we already had those boxes come and get some negative feedback removed. Now it came to the point to where we had to think, do we want to keep shipping these, or do we want to try and halt and start selling something else? We kept shipping them because scared money don't make no money, right? So we kept shipping the MagSafe headphones, but then what we did was we added the clones. Now we wanted to add the clones because our thought of this was, all right, so with the Maxes, it is taking us some bigger boxes to ship, obviously, right? But with the AirPod clones, we can ship in envelopes, padded envelopes, and we can ship in boxes if needed. So what we did was we said, okay, we're just going to still sell the Maxes, but sell them a little slower. So we decreased the promotions, up the promotions for the Gen 2 clones, and we were able to get them sold. Now we got 28 sold, and that was $16.60 that was made, and that was something that I think put the icing on the cake, because again, selling 28 of them, that's fairly well. Especially if you're doing the promotions and if you're making sure that you're revising and you're keeping it in the algorithm. And we did multiple posts. So if you're posting one post of the AirPods, then you're hurting yourself. We did around 8 posts, different price points. Our average price point ended up being $60, but we did different price points just to test out the market, basically, right? And of course, we didn't say they were AirPods. No, these are wireless in-the-ear headphones, and that is why they were able to sell. Not only were they just able to sell, but we were able to get and capture these customers, have them understand they're not the real official headphones, obviously, as we're not allowed to sell those, but they were happy, got that positive feedback, and we continued throughout our week. Now, if we want to be honest, y'all, this was a very stressful, because I was building this by myself, kinda week, and the different type of products that I utilized for this were different. Like, they were catering different target markets, right? So a Labubu Dial wouldn't necessarily be the same product that somebody that was buying AirPod Maxes would want, right? And then you got to think the MagSafe battery pack and the charging cables were great, but those weren't going to be able to be bundled with a bubble blaster. Like, I put a lot of unique products together listing wise, and it didn't really matter. So I really did break something that I thought was true, that you need to have just a certain niche every time. No, you can sell different products and still be able to come out profitable. So that was a really big lesson that I learned. So in total, guys, we were able to list 50 plus active listings, and we were able to make a good amount of money, right? We didn't quite get to the 5K, but we got to $4,165. It was a mix of a bunch of products. Now, as I'm looking at it, guys, we also did cross list on Mercari too, and this was in 30 days. If you're somebody out there that is looking to get into an income stream that is going to be able to be flexible, something that you can work on while you're at work or while you're at home with the kids, definitely think about eBay. Okay, I have a bunch of resources on wesply.com, or you can just type in hustlertaughtme.com, and you'll be able to see that there's a bunch of things you can learn. There's a bunch of different master bundles that I have, and like I told you guys, I have a product master bundle where it comes with the teachings, so it comes with the guide, and it also comes with the product reselling kit. So it comes with a whole course and the products to actually put the course in play. The link is below, and you guys could actually start right now. Literally start using the low ticket. It has every single product that I sold in that kit. Start with the low ticket, move up gradually throughout the weeks. It has the Labubu Dials, it has the AirPod Max clones, it has the Gen 2 clones, it has the MagSafe battery pack, it has the chargers for you to be able to start selling and start making money. All right, now, if I was to leave you guys with a gem that I learned doing this, I would definitely say that being persistent is important. If you can't be persistent at it, just try and make sure that you create a system where you're holding yourself accountable to revising products when you can, because it always makes more sense when you have a system. All right. Now, if you're somebody looking to learn, definitely subscribe, because I will continue on this series. This is going to be the first video of our eBay series that I will be starting this week, and I cannot wait for you guys to see more. So definitely check back in, because there is going to be another video following up with another pair of strategies for you to be able to take advantage of with this income stream on eBay. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys follow me on TikTok and on Instagram at Educated__hustler. Okay, now guys, if you guys could, I want you guys to pick wireless MagSafe headphones, AirPod Gen 2 headphones, MagSafe battery pack, Labubu dials. Which one do you guys think sold the most the entire month? Which one? The first person to put the right answer is going to be entered into a raffle. And guys, if you guys don't know, I go live on TikTok 7 p.m. usually every weekday night, okay? And that's when I do my raffles. Put it below and I will comment if you have the right or wrong answer. Thank you. I'll see you guys in the next video.